Hey, good morning. It is Sunday morning, and I missed yesterday. Well, I didn't miss yesterday. I just missed posting a video yesterday. And I can't exactly tell you why. I know. Well, yeah, I slept a lot, bottom line. And then I went to work, and I thought, oh, I'll sneak off into the break room and post a thought or two. And then I got pulled. So I wound up in the ICU, and I don't know their charting system at all. So it was like quick learning curve, back in the fire or whatever, which is fine. I'm totally fine with it, but there was no me time. So that's okay. It is what it is. So it's Sunday, and I've had a lot of time to think since my last video, or maybe not a lot of time to think since my last video. So breakfast this morning is including a nice little glass of Chardonnay to go with my let's crack an egg omelet before I head off to bed. And I don't know. You're just going to have to bear with me. And I probably won't post the link to this video. If you find it, you find it. And if not, that's okay too. I guess I just wanted to comment on, people saying like, oh, you're a hero or you're this, that, and the other for going and helping. And it is entirely possible that it's a me issue. But I struggle when they say that because, like, the heroes were the people that were in it and that were stuck and that had no way out. So I talked to one of the charge nurses this morning, and she had a good old cry, so waterworks might happen. But she was like saying, I just can't believe that you left everything to come and help us. And I'm like, but you stayed when you could have ran. You could have called out. You could have quit. You could have not showed up. But you stayed. So I don't see what I am doing as anything more than just a different version of what they're doing. But what they endured was so much worse, to have been blindsided by it in essence, or, for the doors of hell to open and them be completely overwhelmed with not knowing where they were getting the help from. And I think a lot of I've always been a helper, and it's just what I feel my calling is. I did 12 years in the fire department. You go to those emergencies and you help, in any way that you can. And it was a thought when I went into nursing that I'd be able to do that more. I mean, more, right? Paramedics and firefighters, it's all about emergency calls. But in terms of deployments or disasters or what have you, that as a nurse, I could continue that calling that I've felt and help. So I think probably what got me stirred up was I saw a bunch of stuff on Facebook last night about people kind of, the in it for the wrong reason, the people that enjoy the glory, which is so not me, so it just doesn't sit right at all. And I get it, people's perspectives are different or their worldview is smaller or what have you, but knowing how bad it was up here and how disastrous and devastating, and then, hearing other places that have not full at capacity, but yes, have COVID. And yes, there's anxieties, and people process anxiety very differently, and are, more able whatever. I'm not going to pass judgment. But knowing the suffering of the victims, as well as how taxing it was on all of the healthcare system, and then seeing groups doing a lot of TikTok videos and choreographed dancing because they're ready, they're frontline. But that was a really well choreographed, very long dance. And these people are working 16-hour shifts with no break and going home in tears because they feel like they didn't do enough. And so, anyhow, that's where I am this morning, is just kind of trying to recognize that in their naivete, perhaps they don't realize, like, I don't know, it's just kind of a slap in the face to the people here that, you know, really, really went through, you know, hell. And, you know, I actually only had one patient. I was in the ICU last night. Usually you have two. But, I mean, you know, there were hospitals around here where nurses were having 6 to 10 vented patients in the ICU because they just wouldn't stop coming in the door. And, you know, fortunately, the unit's all COVID. They're all on vents. But things are getting under control. And unfortunately, it's getting under control because people are still dying. And, you know, the curve is flattening because people are doing what they should be doing. And for that, I'm truly grateful. And I recognize that staying at home and being quarantined is its own hell. And I don't diminish that at all, whether it's being quarantined by yourself. It's incredibly lonely. Whether it's being quarantined, having to juggle a teleworking job and homeschooling. You know, whatever it is, plus the stresses of being able to get safely to the store and not, you know, bring it on your family, and the financial hardships that everybody's enduring. I totally think everybody, you know, gold star for everybody, which is why I kind of don't feel that my gold star is any shinier than anybody else's. And so, like, I know people say, oh, what can I do, or what can I send you, or what can I bring you, or have it shipped, or what have you. I appreciate it. And I'm okay. Like, trust me, you haven't seen the amount of food in my kitchen because, well, you know, shouldn't shop when I'm hungry. But what I really appreciate is, you know, hokey, I know, thoughts and prayers and thinking of the people that were here before I got here. A lady I took care of last night, like, just so sad. You know, she's 60 years old. She's on a vent. She has been on a vent since March 31st. And she's making progress. And they're trying to avoid tracheing her. They're trying to hold off to be able to extubate her, you know, without that. And you think, God, that would be a joyous day when she comes off the vent after a month, what this woman has been through. And when she comes off the vent, they're going to have to tell her that her son didn't make it. And if she doesn't come off the vent, she was a family of 3, her husband, and her son. And her son, or her husband, will endure losing his wife and his child. So I'm okay. I have what I need. what's valuable to me is knowing people in my life that love me, that I love, and I'm really fortunate to be here to kind of hold their hands through a really difficult journey, and it's a privilege. So I totally appreciative of offers of, what have you. And it's super nice and it makes life easier, when the head of the ER gets us a really nice dinner to say thank you. And that's great, but it's in no means expected and nor solicited for and what have you. I mean, being a nurse and being able to experience those highs and those lows. I mean, yeah, I'd rather more highs than lows, but I'm honored to be able to be there and to be able to help my fellow nurses and to stand side by side with them in their time of need, because we often don't help each other. So anyhow, that's my Sunday 2 cents. Probably kind of heavy. But I'm the lucky one. Really, I am. So egg and Chardonnay and off to bed. Have a good one. I love you all. Bye.